general we have now nearly always makes sago puddings, and they are the watery kind, and you cannot pretend anything with them, not even islands like you do with porridge. Then we left off going to school, and father said we should go to a good school as soon as he could manage it. He said a holiday would do us all good. We thought he was right, but we wished he had told us he couldn't afford it, for of course we knew. Then a great many people used to come to the door with envelopes with no stamps on them, and sometimes they got very angry and said they were calling for the last time before putting it in other hands. I asked Eliza what that meant, and she kindly explained to me, and I was so sorry for father. And once a long blue paper came. A policeman brought it, and we were so frightened, but father said it was all right, only when he went up to kiss the girls after they were in bed they said he had been crying, though I'm sure that's not true, because only cowards and snivellers cry, and my father is the bravest man in the world. So you see, it was time we looked for treasure, and Oswald said so. And Dora said it was all very well, but the others agreed with Oswald, so we held a council. Dora was in the chair, the big dining-room chair that we let the fireworks off from the 5th of November when we had the measles and couldn't do it in the garden. The hole has never been mended, so now we have that chair in the nursery, and I think it was cheaper the blowing up we boys got when the hole was burnt. We must do something, said Alice, because the exchequer is empty. She rattled the money box as she spoke, and it really did rattle, because we always keep the bad sixpence in it for luck. Yes, but what shall we do? Said Dicky. It's so jolly easy to say let's do something. Dicky always wants everything settled exactly. Father calls him the definite article. Let's read all the books again. We shall get lots of ideas out of them. It was Noel who suggested this, but we made him shut up, because we knew well enough he only wanted to get back to his old books. Noel is a poet. He sold some of his poetry once, and it was printed, but that does not come in this part of the story. Then Dicky said, Look here. We'll be quite quiet for 10 minutes by the clock, and each think of some way to find treasure. And when we've thought, we'll try all the ways one after the other, beginning with the eldest. I shan't be able to think in 10 minutes. Make it half an hour, said H.O. His real name is Horace Octavius, but we call him H.O. because of the advertisement. And it's not so very long ago he was afraid to pass the hoarding where it says Eat H.O. in big letters. He says it was when he was a little boy, but I remember last Christmas but one, he woke up in the middle of the night crying and howling, and they said it was the pudding. But he told me afterwards he had been dreaming that they really had come to eat H.O., and it couldn't have been the pudding when you come to think of it, because it was so very plain. Well, we made it half an hour, and we all sat quiet and thought, and I made up my mind before 2 minutes were over, and I saw the others had, all but Dora, who was always an awful time over everything. I got pins and needles in my leg from sitting still so long, and when it was 7 minutes, H.O. cried out, Oh, it must be more than half an hour. H.O. is 8 years old, but he cannot tell the clock yet. Oswald could tell the clock when he was 6. We all stretched ourselves and began to speak at once, but Dora put up her hands to her ears and said, One at a time, please. We aren't playing Babel. It's a very good game. Did you ever play it? So Dora made us all sit in a row on the floor, in ages, and then she pointed at us with the finger that had the brass thimble on. Her silver one got lost when the last general but 2 went away. We think she must have forgotten it was Dora's and put it in her box by mistake. She was a very forgetful girl. She used to forget what she had spent money on, so that the change was never quite right. Oswald spoke first. I think we might stop people on Blackheath, with crepe masks and horse pistols, and say, Your money or your life. Resistance is useless. We are armed to the teeth, like Dick Turpin and Claude Duval. It wouldn't matter about not having horses, because coaches have gone out too. Dora screwed up her nose the way she always does when she is going to talk like the good elder sister in books, and said, That would be very wrong. It's like pickpocketing or taking pennies out of father's greatcoat when it's hanging in the hall. I must say I don't think she need have said that, especially before the little ones, for it was when I was only 4. But Oswald was not going to let her see he cared, so he said, Oh, very well. I can think of lots of other ways. We could rescue an old gentleman from deadly highwaymen. There aren't any, said Dora. Oh, well, it's all the same. From deadly peril, then. There's plenty of that. Then he would turn out to be the Prince of Wales, and he would say, My noble, my cherished preserver, here is £1,000,000 a year. Rise up, Sir Oswald Bastable. But the others did not seem to think so, and it was Alice's turn to say. She said, I think we might try the divining rod. I'm sure I could do it. I've often read about it. You hold a stick in your hands,